bet you didn't expect me to do another video this month, because beginning with September last year, again, I've only been doing an average of about 3 videos a month. So I think this will be my 4th. But there's been a lot of chatter coming my way about different people, particularly different black male YouTube content creators. And it all centers, most of it, if not all of it, centers around one subject, which is the subject of cheating. Now, I don't know if I'm going to mention these guys by name because you all know who they are. But there's 3 black men I've heard mentioned. 2 of them have been mentioned because they more or less have defended the concept of adultery and cheating. Because they've more or less defended the concept of adultery / cheating. And another one has been mentioned because he got caught cheating. And now he's trying to make an apology for it. Let me get to the point early in the video. Let me make this clear as if I have to make it clear. Because if you own all my books, you know where I stand on this issue. If you own any of my books, you know where I stand on this issue. If you're a cheater or adulterer, you're a verbal coward. Period. End of story. You're a punk. Want to Skype with me so I can tell you directly? Give me your information so I can tell you directly. You're a punk. You're a verbal coward. You're a punk. Period. End of story. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care if you're making $1 million. I don't care what you got going for you. If you got to lie to your wife, fiance, or girlfriend and sneak behind her back in order to fuck other women, you are a punk. Period. Drops mic. Now, this is a testy issue, man. I've gotten into it. I've told this story in at least 1 or 2 videos, man. I got into it with some of my own frat brothers about this issue. And, you know, I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, man. I got love for my frat brothers. But me and a group of my frat brothers had a falling out over this very issue, the issue of cheating. Because, truth be told, and most people know that if they're familiar with my fraternity, a lot of my fraternity brothers, they swear by cheating. Like, starting with college days, they used to believe in having a serious girlfriend and then having 2, 3, 4, 5 side chicks. But once I became on one, that type of attitude went out the window for me. Now, I cheated before. I won't lie. So I ain't going to sit here and act like I've never, ever done it. When I was 18 years old, I once cheated on a girlfriend towards the tail end of my senior in high school. That was the first time I ever cheated on a woman. Was, towards the very end of my senior in high school, cheated on a woman, felt bad about it. Later told the woman I cheated because it was actually one of her best friends. One of her best friends threw the pussy at me, and I took it. Just shows women, man, you can't even trust some of your best friends. This wasn't like some girl she just knew. This was like a woman that was in her inner circle, like one of her best friends. Threw the pussy at me towards the end of my senior in high school, and I took it. Then the second woman I cheated on was my girlfriend from college. When I was both 19 and 20, I cheated on my girlfriend from college. Starting with the age of 21 up until now, I ain't never cheated on a woman. Ain't never cheated on a woman. Now, let me clarify. I'm not against a man being married, being engaged to be married, or being in a long-term romantic relationship and having additional lovers. I am not against that. So I don't want anybody to get that mistaken impression. I'm not criticizing men who have a wife, fiance, or long-term girlfriend, and in addition, they have additional lovers, such as a concubine or a polyamorous lover. I'm not against that at all. What I'm specifically against is cheating. In other words, when you're giving your wife, fiance, or long-term girlfriend the misleading impression that you have a desire to be indefinitely and romantically faithful to her when you know deep down you have no plans of doing so. And when you're in that category, I have no respect for you because you're a verbal coward, man. You ain't got no backbone. You ain't no real man in my eyes. Maybe in your friend's eyes, your buddy's eyes, in my eyes, Alan Roger Currie's eyes, you ain't a real man to me, man. Real talk. You ain't a real man to me. Like I said this on a video, I think 3 or 4 years ago. I was talking about Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, I lost respect for Tiger Woods, man, when he had to resort to cheating on his wife. Man, when you get that type of fame and that type of money, you gotta be man enough to lay down your program to a woman and say, hey, I'm providing you with a good life. Here's the real deal. I'm gonna be fucking other women. If you got a problem with that, let me know right now so I can replace you with somebody else. That's how a real man goes about his shit and handles his business. If you cheat on women, don't ever call yourself mode 1. You can call yourself high value and all that other bullshit, but don't ever call yourself mode 1 because you ain't mode 1. You ain't mode 1 if you cheating. That's for cowards. That's for verbal cowards. Cheating is for verbal cowards. Guys with no real balls, no real backbone. That's what cheating is for. Guys with balls and backbone, they lay shit out up front. Like you take my wife right now. And most of y'all know this because y'all have heard me say it on different live streams I participated in. My current wife, I ain't never promised or guaranteed her long-term strict monogamy, ever. Not one time. Have I been monogamous to her up to this point? Yes, I actually have. I haven't had sex with any other woman other than my wife since we started seeing each other. So I've chosen to be faithfully monogamous to my wife. I talk about that if you own my book, The Beta Male Revolution. That's one of the first things I talk about in that book. I say there's basically 2 types of monogamy. There's natural, or what I call voluntary monogamy, and then there's obligatory monogamy. Obligatory. Plain and simply, obligatory, anytime, the only reason you're being monogamous with someone or trying to be monogamous with someone is because you feel like you have to or you're supposed to be, that means you're indulging in obligatory monogamy. I don't believe in obligatory monogamy. Don't believe in this shit. Never have and never will. On the flip side, natural, or what I call voluntary monogamy, that's when you, for a certain period of time, it could be indefinitely or it could be just for a number of months or years, you choose to be monogamous. That's the category I am with my wife right now. I'm voluntarily monogamous with my wife. But I told my wife from the get-go when we first started dating, I laid down the law with my wife. And she'll tell you if I was to put on video. I told her straight up, I said, if there comes a time where I cross paths with a woman that really turns me on sexually, there's a greater than 50% chance I'm gonna fuck her. I said, the thing I'm gonna do to you though, I'm not gonna disrespect you. I'm gonna tell you up front. I'm not gonna sneak and do anything behind your back and disrespect you like that. I'm gonna let you know up front that there's another woman I'm fucking. Because that's what real men do. Real men with balls and backbone and a mode 1 mindset, that's what they do. But there's some people on YouTube saying, if you're a guy that's either exceptionally handsome, have an exceptionally high degree of sex appeal, or you have a high degree of career success and financial success, then you should be given a green light to cheat. Man, fuck that. Nobody deserves a green light to cheat. Now again, that's to be different from you telling your wife, fiance, or long-term girlfriend up front that, hey, it just ain't in me to be faithfully monogamous to you indefinitely. That's not in me. That's not part of me. I got women throwing pussy at me on a weekly basis. So baby, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna take care of you financially. But I'm always leave the door at least cracked open for me to fuck other women. If you're not down with that, if you have a severe problem with that, let me know right now, and then I could get another companion who is down. That's how real men roll. The number one video, first video I remember I talked about, something related to this, was in spring of 2017. I did a video about the definition of a true player. A true player. Because I'm trying not to get in a long story, but I used to post on this message board called AskMan.com. But before I started posting, I used to just be what's known as a message board lurker. That means you just come and look at people's posts, but you don't really post yourself. That's known as a message board or discussion forum lurker. I was a lurker of Ask Man for about 3 or 4 months before I started posting. The first thing that made me start posting was when this woman posted this post essentially saying that being a player and a cheater was essentially the same thing. She made being the term player and cheater synonymous. And I said, no, that ain't true. That was literally my very first post on AskMan.com. I said, no, that ain't true. I said, where I come from, a true player is a guy that lets all his lovers know up front that he's going to be fucking multiple women, and they down with his program, and they give him the pussy anyway. That's a true player. If you anything else, you ain't no true player. If you got to resort to lying, misleading, and manipulating women, you ain't no true player. Not in my book, and not where I come from, you ain't. Maybe in some, San Antonio, Texas book or something. You not in my book, you ain't. You're a verbal coward. A true player is a motherfucker that tells a woman up front that, hey, I'm going to be fucking other women. I already am fucking multiple women. You down or you not down? That's how, starting with the age of 21 up until my current age, that's how I've always operated with women. That's how I ain't never promised or guaranteed not one ex-girlfriend of mine long-term, indefinite, strict monogamy. Not one. Not one. Starting with the age of 21. Don't do the shit. Nope. Don't do it. I let every woman I know, every woman I've dealt with, I told them up front that I either already was fucking multiple women, or if I wasn't fucking multiple women, I told them up front that there was at least a 50% chance in the future I would. Again, that's how real men with true balls, big cojones. Big balls and strong backbone, that's how they roll, man. They don't go lying and sneaking behind. I remember one time when I was working for the university, that program I mentioned on my last video. And one of my business colleagues, he told me he had 3 mobile phones. And he said, and then he made some lighthearted comment like, Alan, I know you do too, being the big player you are, I know you do too. And I said, why would you think I got 3 mobile phones? He said, a different phone for your different fuck buddies. And I looked at him like, nigga. I said, dude, I ain't got nothing to hide. What the fuck you talking about? I said, that's how you roll? He was like, yeah, I thought that's how all players roll. I said, dude, don't ever call yourself a player. You embarrass yourself. If you're around anybody who's close to me that knows what it means to be a true player, don't ever call yourself that. You embarrass yourself. Man, I ain't never had no multiple phones to talk to multiple women. That's some verbal coward shit. That's some punk shit. That's some straight up punk shit. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. Man, I don't hide nothing, man. I was telling my wife a story. Man, do you know, in my more egotistical days, as if I could be more egotistical than I already am, I was telling her, somebody brought up the subject of numbering women. I think it was one of my clients. Man, I used to send out emails to some of my fuck buddies, and I had them numbered. I would be like, you my number 1 bitch, you my number 2 bitch, you my number 3 bitch, you my number 4 bitch, you my number 5 bitch. And each one of those women knew that, like, if on a Friday night, if number 5 wanted to hook up with me, but number 3 also wanted to hook up with me, number 3 got first dibs. That's how it worked. See, you got to be a real man to operate operate with women that way. Give them numbers. That's when you know you're a bad motherfucker. All this lying and cheating and all this bullshit, man, I don't have no respect for that shit. Again, I've had to tell some of my close friends and frat brothers that. And it caused some tense moments between some of us. Between me and some of my close friends and some of my frat brothers. Matter of fact, y'all know one story. When I did a speaking engagement in Chicago, me and one dude was probably about 5 minutes away from coming to blows, man. He kept, big brother too, about 6'4", 6'5". He kept calling himself the #1 player pimp in Chicago, but yet he admitted to me that all the women he's fucking, he lied to them and made them believe that they were his only lover. And I said, how can you tell me that and call yourself a player pimp? I looked him dead in his eye. I said, nigga, you a coward. And of course he didn't like that. He started getting tensed up. I said, you a coward. I said, dude, you ain't no real man. You don't dare call yourself no player pimp, motherfucker. You a coward. Yeah, he didn't like Mo 1. He was like, man, this straightforward honesty shit, man, you gonna fuck up the game. That's what he said. He said, man, with this Mo 1 straightforward honesty stuff, man, you gonna fuck up the game, man. You gonna fuck up the game. The game ain't supposed to include straightforward honesty about other women you fucking, man. It ain't supposed to include that. Nah, nigga, just the opposite. The game ain't supposed to include lies. That's what bitches do. Yeah, you heard me right. Excerpt that and put it on your channel. That's what bitches do. Real men ain't got a lie to no woman about the other pieces of pussy they got. So yeah, man, if you a man and you got to resort to pretending with your wife, fiance, or long-term girlfriend that you all in love with her and monogamous with her, when behind her back you sneaking and fucking this woman and fucking that woman, but you ain't got the balls, you ain't got the courage to tell her that shit, then you a verbal coward, man. And I have no respect for your ilk. None. Zero. None. You'll never earn the Mo 1 label. Mo 1 motherfuckers got balls. Mo 1 dudes got backbone. Again, the last time I was guilty of doing that, sneaking behind my girlfriend's back, was when I was 20 years old in college. I snuck behind my girlfriend's back and had sex with some other women on campus. And I ain't like the way it made me feel, man. It made me feel like a punk. And that's why I stopped doing that shit, man. It made me feel like a punk, man. I felt like a punk having to do that shit, sneaking behind her back. That made me feel like a verbal coward, i.e. a punk. If you want to fuck multiple women, you got it like that where you can fuck multiple women, then you need to develop the balls and backbone to tell women that straightforwardly. If they accept your program, that's when you could call yourself a bad motherfucker. If you lay out your program and those women accept your program, then that's when you could call yourself a bad motherfucker. Anything else, man, you ain't worthy of respect. You're a verbal coward. You're a punk. You dismissed. Bye.
Yes, sir.
Say it again.
Yes, sir.
Who's the king?
Alan, you're the king.
Say it again.
Alan, you're the king. You're dominating me.
Say it again.
Alan, you're dominating me right now. Mode 1.
Mode 1.
Daddy, can I go, please? You're the king.
Say it again.
Oh, you're the fucking king. Yes. Yes. Yes.
You're the king, Alan.
AKA the king of verbal seduction. You know, it's the tone of your voice, how seductive your intonations are, the vibrations that you could just reach out over the phone lines and stroke a woman's breast just by the sound of your voice, how you could make her pussy so wet just by the sound of your voice. That's actually very hot.
So you said my show was what?
I said your show is powerful.
Oh, say it again.
Your show is powerful.
I bet the king would fuck me really good.
Who's the king?
Alan Roger Currie.
Oh, yeah. Who's the king?
Alan Roger Currie. The king.
The king.
The king.
I have to agree with you on the communication piece, because I actually did take a session with Alan Roger Currie, and he gave me a line that I did not think was going to work, and it worked. And I was like, what the fuck?
Oh my God!
Tell guys, man, he's the master. He's the master of the verbal seduction. He got that communication piece down pat.
It really worked. It just simply worked, and I just didn't think it was going to work at all.
Some guys have natural handles. Some guys have a better natural shot, but you can always improve your shot. And sex is damn sure something you can fucking learn. Look, dude, you want to learn how to talk better? I'm hiring Alan Roger Currie to get my dirty talk game on, because it's always been something I want to get better at.
Verbal seduction, man. I'm like, clearly, this guy's the Michael Jordan of seduction. Like, come on now.